Hi Leo, welcome to your March 2019 astrology and tarot reading. So we're going to start off with the astrology of this month and then we're going to go into the tarot a little bit later. So you can pick and choose which one you want to go to or listen to both as the case may be. This is a really good month, Leo, particularly if you're looking for something a bit deeper, a little bit more exciting, a bit more intense, because intensity is not a bad thing. But this is, Venus moves into your partnership zone on the 1st. So depending on where you are of the Leo decans, if you're in the 1st, you'll feel this immediately. 2nd, you'll feel it more mid-month. And then at the very end of Leo, you'll feel it towards the end of March. So really, Venus entering this sign, your partnerships get this boost. They get this momentum. Romance is enhanced, one-to-one commitments. You may decide that you want to commit to something in March. Now, although that is enhanced because, Aquarian season was something that probably with the new moon brought in for some of you partnerships, probably brought some of you relationships, or a new beginning in love with current relationships, new cycles or whatever. If you haven't met anybody under that new moon, it may actually occur in March. Bear in mind, Mercury is going to go retrograde in your 8th house. You may feel pangs of jealousy, Leo, from time to time, particularly around the 5th to 6th. Past hurts may resurface a little bit for you. You may encounter jealousy as well from an ex, someone that you didn't expect hearing it from, but it's not a good idea to let that paint your picture of the future. We have a dominant 8th house energy to this. So suspicions and secrecy could tickle you a little bit at points, Leo. So don't give in to that. We have this beautiful new moon as well in Pisces in the 6th, bringing you this emotional transformation. And if you want to let go of the past hurts, it's the best time to do it. If you want to enhance your relationships, as I say, if you want to commit to something, there will be a need to have more deeper aspects to relationships rather than casual flings, if that's what you've been after. Don't forget, Jupiter is in your 5th house, bringing you great luck with romance, bringing you abundance with romance. So it's a beautiful time to manifest relationships that are more fulfilling, and when you know that there's that deep connection. This is very much, I've actually written down in my notes, sexual healing. So you may find that somebody is really appealing to you in your deeper connections, and you feel like this relationship is kind of bringing a lot of comfort to you in your expression of self. You can manifest people you feel very secure with. The only thing is Mercury retrograde may make you doubt them a little bit more. The green-eyed monster may raise its head a couple of times. So just bear in mind that's Mercury, okay? Mars is going to have Uranus join it in Taurus on the 6th. So you might actually, while you may be needing more intimacy and connection in your relationships, in your career, you might want a bit more freedom. Some of you might want to cut down on your hours. Some of you might want a bit more self-control over what's happening in the workplace. You might butt heads a little bit initially with people in power in the workplace, or you may be a little bit more irritable about people asking you to do things when you have experience and you know what you're doing, and you feel a little bit like they may be patronizing you. Be mindful about that around the 6th. You're going to want leadership, and some of you may really want to be self-employed, and we have this aspect going on until 2025. So between now and then, a lot of Leos are going to become self-employed. A lot of Leos are going to cut ties with corporations that restrict them. You're going to want to have more say in your career, gain more freedom, gain more independence. You are going to find mentors, of course, within the workplace that are good to learn from. Maybe don't bite the hand that feeds you if you feel the need to. That's not recommended, but you are going to start taking steps, I think, to be more self-fulfilled in the workplace. The rest of the aspects happening in the later month will go into mid-monthly. To give you a taster of that, there's going to be a full moon in Libra, and the sun will move into Aries on the same day. So it's another 0-degree moon, which is intense and will intensify the issues. It's going to give you a real voice to say something. As I sort of suspect, I do think somebody is going to come at you via the phone, via email, with an outburst you weren't expecting. That's sort of the vibe that I'm getting. I think it might surprise you, but you can really focus on new spiritual understanding, cultural trips, French fries, philosophy. Your mind will broaden dramatically around the 20th, and you will lighten up a little bit in your relationships. 28th, when Mercury goes direct, you're going to feel a lot more emotionally stable. So if there are a little bit of ups and downs this month with your jealousy, with your suspicion, with secrets or whatever, don't take them too much to heart. The full moon will expose anything that's been hidden, because that's what it does. It's in your third house, communications, yada, yada, yada. I do think someone's feelings might shock you this month. Whether that's good or bad will depend, but Venus will move into Pisces at 8th house, continuing that beautiful intimacy right into April. Okay, so, and then April will be Aries season, fellow fire energy, and you're going to be feeling a lot more excited. So just bear in mind, Leo, during Pisces season, there's a beautiful intimacy, there's a chemistry, you're very enigmatic, very attractive. But with Pisces being mutable water, you being fixed fire, you can feel a little bit like your emotions override you at times this month. So just take it easy on yourself. Don't expect yourself to be a jack of all trades and know all the answers, because a jack of all trades is a master at none. So don't spread yourself too thinly. And again, if you want to rebel and work, find a healthy way to do that. Don't just suddenly quit your job. Not recommended. Mars is still in your career sector, giving you a great boost to make action, get things done, but it doesn't all have to happen at once. Rome wasn't built in a day. So, interesting month indeed, Leo. Two of Cups, partnership, love right off the bat. 3 of Cups, reunion. 3 of Wands, justice. And the 9 of Cups, a wish, right? Well, lucky to be a Leo. We know it's a good time to be a Leo. 5 of Cups underneath, sadness. So, very au contraire with the energies. Yeah, your emotions are running away with you at certain points this month because you feel a little bit unbalanced. You are wanting to strike while the iron's hot. You don't want to let something get away or someone get away, but you might be trying to push it so much in a certain direction that you're not actually asking the other person what's going on. 3 of Wands in the positive position, you're looking forward, you're trying to figure out what's next, you're excited about what's next. 9 of Cups is the outcome, you get a wish fulfilled, and I'm hedging my bets, Leo, it's romantic. 2 of Cups. 3 of Cups is what you're hoping for. So you're hoping for something to celebrate. I do think when we have 4 cups out of 6, the vibe that I'm getting is that your emotions are very, very intense. And that's expected with the 8 of, the 8th house energy. So you could be dealing with Scorpio people because their 8th house is a sign. If you're dealing with a Libra, I feel like something's a bit out of whack. So something's not quite balanced. If you're in the legal profession, you're sort of struggling with a mentor figure or some sort of process, because justice represents the law. So if you're in a legal position or you're going through legal proceedings, court documents, etc., maybe you're up in court for something, I don't know, but there is some sort of something is not quite right for you at the moment, or you're not enjoying that process. Worth saying, contracts, especially if they're to do with other people's money, are not well aspected to be signed unless it is the first 4 days of the month or the last 3. March isn't the best month for signing contracts, just an FYI. It's not that you can't, it's just that if you're looking for security in the long run with this, it may be something that needs to be renegotiated at another time in the future. What you sign in March may need to be re-signed in April. That's kind of the feeling that I'm getting from this, Leo, so just bear that in mind. It may also be that there's a little bit of discord in your relationships because of things like jealousy. It's like you want to lock something down, but it sort of comes very, very, very quickly. 3 of Wands is telling me that you have your eye on the future, particularly if it's to do with a person, and you're very, very worried about it going wrong. And you're a bit defensive about it as well, which is where I'm getting this jealousy vibe from. Bear in mind, the Nine of Cups is promising you that things are actually working out pretty well. It is the wish card of the whole deck. All right, so there's something good coming in particular, Leo. So don't worry about that. Oh, the Magician, perfect. You are manifesting things. You're making things happen. You have a clear goal, you have a clear plan, and you want to act towards it. So why are you trying to rush it? You only rush things if you're insecure that they're going to go somewhere. So if that's romantic, if that's business, chill for a second and just go with the flow. Okay, so the Two of Cups is here with the Knight of Swords. You could be with someone who's very, very witty, someone who has a flair for drama. It could be an actor. Or it could be there's very good intellectual discussions as well as emotional discussions with this person. Gossip. You're afraid of what people are saying about something, especially with your friends. Nine of Wands in the positive. The challenge is the Ten of Pentacles. Oops, the Fool fell out, and the outcome is the Magician. Right, and underneath we have the King of Wands. You are formidable, Leo. You are making so many things happen. You're like, do you know what that is? Jupiter is giving you this lucky streak, I think, because it's connecting so well with your sun. But something's giving you a lucky streak. I reckon it's probably to do... I don't know, but I feel like if I... Looking at the tarot in combination with the sun, it's like some sort of dream come true aspect to this, which is really, really, really funky. Because we have you underneath as well, the King of Wands. So that's you in your element. That's you feeling like fire, feeling like the king of the jungle, feeling like the lioness, the lion, feeling as though you have, very, very, very strong connection with self. Now, on the other hand, you are trying to get something long-term to occur. From what I can gather, if it's a relationship, the seeds have been planted. There's no need to put such a strong emphasis on the official if it's early stages, or if you're in a relationship, not the time to push, further commitments. That, what you want is coming to you. It really is. Like there's real strong emphasis on getting what you want. The Nine of Cups and the Magician is a wish realized, a wish manifested. So you've got it good. But I do sort of sense that you may come in a little bit hasty on something and try and, blow your cover. When there is a lot of emphasis on the 8th house, Leo, you can want all of a sudden... It's like you want everybody to know something. There's as if there's something you can't keep to yourself. The funny thing is, and you could learn this from your Scorpio friends, the 8th house is known as a house of secrets in many ways. The reason for the secrets is self-preservation. And I think I explained this in the last one, but oftentimes people will keep things private to prevent outside influences. And I think that's exactly what you fear, but you also want some kind of approval. If you are getting something off the ground, if it's in the early stages, if it is vulnerable, don't tell people. Okay, just an FYI. You are manifesting something great, but don't be surprised if the 8th house manifests as jealousy in other people too. As I say, if you, for example, go official with a new partner and you've got an ex-partner that you think would be okay with it, it really might not be okay. They might come back all guns blazing, because I do see this emotional outburst from somebody you didn't expect it from. 3 of Wands and the 9 of Wands in the positive position means you are willing to go the distance for something or someone, be it a project, be it a person. There is an element of commitment coming from you. If it's not necessarily coming from the other person, you might want to have that conversation before or after the retrograde, because you might be pushing from a perspective of incorrect assumption. Just an FYI. I do think there's some sort of legal contract that could do with delaying if you're thinking about it. If it's buying a house, if it's renting a house, something could do with being put a bit on the back burner is one thing I want to say. Those of you that are married may be feeling a lot of marital tension as well, which is funny because the Justice and the Ten of Pentacles can represent a marriage. So I feel like that could be an issue for some people. And I think it's a lot to do with Mercury retrograding. I also assume maybe with Uranus moving into your career sector, you really want to be, making big changes, and you're actually financially responsible for somebody else. So you feel a little bit restricted, or they feel a little bit concerned at your sudden desire for movement. Four of Cups. Okay, there's something there. High Priestess, Queen of the Ocean, the Empress, challenges a Hermit, and the Six of Swords. That's good. Wow. Moving forward with something, a wish that, sort of manifests in a healthy way. Getting what you want and being able to move because of it. So some of you are going on holiday, some of you are relocating, possibly later, I think. I do think this is Mercury going direct with the Magician here. So maybe in April. Is when you're looking more into movement. But be wary of stirring up emotional drama or relying too dependently on your personal life for inspiration and good feeling. Make sure that you are, because with Mars in your career sector, you want to be driven. You don't want to miss this opportunity because it doesn't come around for another 2 years. Mars being in Taurus hasn't been there since 2016, and there were probably a lot of career changes going on in 2016 for you. Probably quite a lot, actually. I think a lot of you have probably made changes that have led you to where you are now, and you have an opportunity to make more movement. Don't neglect that. There seems to be a beautiful thing going on in your personal life, but, how do I put this? Don't rely too much on that to keep you happy. Make sure that if everything all went wrong tomorrow with your personal life, would you still have what's going on in your career? You want to make sure that you have this balance between the two. I think that's what's suffering, and that's possibly why Justice is in the challenge position. But I do not see emotional drama. I actually see moving forward from emotional drama down here up to calmer times where you're more concentrated on your goals, your excitement, and you've a lot to be thankful and grateful for, Leo. I love this. I really, really, really do. Five of Wands is underneath competition, and it's actually with the Queen of Wands. If you're dealing with another fire sign, you could be competing with each other for, I don't know what, but you could be competing with the other fire signs. I do also kind of get this vibe that you may run the risk of burning out a bit in work because you have all these ideas, or you have all these desires, or you want to prove yourself to somebody. And it's funny, with the Hermit, it means that you can run the risk of becoming a bit disconnected. Actually, the more you meditate, Leo, for those of you that don't, I really suggest learning it when there's all this 8th house energy, because it's a beautiful time to really, really connect with what's deeper than you. And with the Empress here in the positive position, your relationships with female figures are going to improve a lot. Queen of the Ocean, Empress is abundance, so it can be really good for you financially. I see this materialization of a dream or a wish, or feeling as though things actually might be too good to be true when they just are as good as they look. So maybe don't second guess everything so much. High Priestess and the Page of Swords, you could jump to some hasty conclusions without first consulting your intuition. That's why it's important to stay checked in. But it's really, really fantastic, actually, Leo. You guys are on this lucky streak, and I'm just sort of, since that eclipse in your sign, everything's sort of upside down, but in a good way. Let's see this. Let's see what comes up. Golden opportunity. What more did you expect? Important doors are opening for you now. Walk through them. Yamanya. Something very important is happening that has a bigger purpose in your life. Make the most of it. But keep everything going. Keep all the home fires going. Personal life. Ooh. Sexual freedom. Ooh la la. Well, 8th house energy is all about sex. What did you expect? Sexual freedom. So basically the premise of this card is not that you're going to be going around getting jiggy with everyone you see. It actually means a deeper freedom coming out of, as I said at the start of the reading, sexual healing. A real intense connection with somebody. That's what you're looking for whenever it's Pisces season, Leo. That's really beautiful. That's a really good omen. But make sure that your intimate relationships are based on honesty, cooperation, partnership, trust, and don't use it as some sort of leverage. If you're in a distorted masculine or distorted feminine energy, you can sometimes use sex as leverage with your partner, but it's not meant to be that. It's a healthy expression of two people that love each other. Aww. This makes so much sense with the 8th house energy. I love it when that happens, when the cards make so much sense. But the 9 of Cups and the Magician, I don't know what else to tell you. That is awesome. And the 6 of Swords means you're moving forward into a period of calm. So it's like there's a lot of excitement comes up and then it simmers down to be something substantial. So even though something seems too good to be true or too promising in March, and that makes you suspicious, don't be. Things are sailing along pretty good. So I love you guys. If you want to join me in the extended for more love reading relationships where we look at each element individually, if you're dealing with a fire sign, a water sign, earth sign, air sign, etc., you can join me there. And if not, I'll see you in the mid-monthlies. Bye.